By my balls, girl! I thought you were dead!
Golden Axe Beast Rider isn't just a fresh coat of paint over a 16-bit classic. It's more of a case of out with the old and in with the new. With 3D visuals, the revival of a sword-slashing heroine, and a familiar yet distant cast of evildoers, is it a trip down memory lane? Or a whole new, less desirable one? It's bad news for the tranquil Axarin tribe. The evil Death Adder, along with his horde of minions, has violently seized control of the last Titan, and is now one step closer to world dominance. With sword in hand, the likable Tyrus Flare, a sassy bikini-clad femme, must seek out an audience with her tribe's stolen Titan, collect the shattered pieces of the fabled Golden Axe, and destroy Death Adder for good. It carries the same vibe as Lord of the Rings or God of War, which is a good start, but everything is just kind of there.
What master do you serve?
Voice acting is passable, and the cutscenes aren't cut rate, but there's nothing here you haven't already seen 100 times before.
You must rebuild the Golden Axe, or we are lost. Now off with you!
Unlike Golden Axe from yesteryear, Beast Rider is strictly a solo affair. There is no cooperative play. Tyrus steals the spotlight this time around despite everyone's favorite dwarf, Gilius, making an early appearance in the story. It's a huge oversight, as cooperative games are all the rage these days, yet we have a series that included the feature years ago that doesn't have it now. In the story mode, you'll hack and slash your way across 8 expansive areas, with each one containing 3 or 4 chapters for a total of 10 to 12 hours of gameplay. The environments aren't nearly as free-roaming as you might think, since you'll mostly be confined to pathways and narrow valleys which border each stage. Occasionally, you'll break free from the mold and fight Death Adder's horde in larger circular areas, but exploration is not Beast Rider's strong point. Boss battles break up the mundane action, offering you a chance to take on some bigger, nasty opponents, but they're just not very original. 2 of the game's 4 big bosses not only share the exact same look, but the same attack pattern as well. You'll also meet up with them for a 3rd time towards the end of the game. Talk about deja vu. Beast Rider stands out from the crowded genre with the ability to mount and ride beasts. There are 5 distinct classes: a T-Rex, a saber-toothed tiger, a rhino, an overgrown ape, and a thundering dragon. Each has their own distinct strengths and weaknesses, and they're never too far away. The story mode offers quite a bit of content and supplies a lengthy and challenging quest. Here you'll unlock new outfits and swords that offer enhanced abilities, such as increased damage or magic. You can take new items with you into challenge mode, where you can try for a better grade and increase your loot. The only other mode is Trials of Tyrus, where you take on an increasing swarm of cronies across 6 varied stages. It's not much, and it certainly doesn't account for the lack of multiplayer, but at least it's something. Gameplay is where Beast Rider falls apart. There's nothing enthralling or memorable about the lackluster generic combat. The feeble attempt to emulate God of War's fierce and quick attacks fails due to Tyrus's slow combos and less than precise controls. Her magic can be helpful, but without a proper lock-on targeting system, misses are too frequent. Parrying and evading attacks provides some semblance of depth, but it's clumsy to use. When an enemy glows blue, you parry. When they glow orange, you evade. This mechanic quickly devolves the combat into a juvenile game of red light, green light, as you patiently wait for color signals before attacking. This is especially problematic when confronted by multiple enemies, since you can't perform simultaneous defenses. Beast Rider is also incredibly difficult, walking on the same plane as the Ninja Gaiden series, minus the rewarding combat. Progressing from one area to the next is tedious and slow, since you'll continuously be confronted by wave after wave of cookie-cutter henchmen. Closed gates are your biggest obstacle, since they can only be opened when certain tasks are met, though it's never clear exactly what is needed. Chances are you'll have to kill every enemy. There's also the occasional hidden switch, sacrifices performed by drop-kicking goons into spikes, lighting torches, or simply plowing through gates atop a beast. The stop-and-go gameplay hardly ever strays away from this generic formula. Riding beasts manages to propel the uninspiring gameplay into moderately fun territory. The blundering beasts serve valiantly in battle, offering unique abilities such as invisibility and highly destructive attacks. but be wary of using their special attacks as they sap away their health far too quickly. There are a few shining moments, particularly when the bigger beasts tear each other apart in a King Kong-inspired cutscene, but there just isn't anywhere near enough of them. Beast Rider looks great in screenshots, and the landscapes have a decent level of detail, but without a shred of interaction, everything feels soulless and bare. Your sword clinks against trees or small structures as if they're made of sturdy plastic. And without a map or guide arrow, you'll encounter plenty of invisible walls and pathways that seem to be going in the right direction, but aren't. It's confusing. The gallons of blood that splatters from severed enemies might satisfy sadists, but it's way too overdone. We didn't expect Golden Axe to be a waltz down a fashion runway, but seeing naked women's bodies strung up by their neck or tortured and ripped apart is just gratuitous and creepy. We also encountered major slowdown and frame rate issues during particularly heated battles, and the endless cries Tyrus and enemies make during battle get especially annoying. Tyrus is likable enough, but generic and uninspired gameplay managed to reduce everything in Golden Axe Beast Rider to the lowest common denominator. It's simply not fun, offering very little incentive to keep playing. The frustrating difficulty doesn't help either. The absence of multiplayer really hurts since the series was founded on teaming up with a friend. We can't recommend it to anyone other than the die-hard hack-and-slash fan looking for the cheapest of thrills.
Are you alive, girl? Answer me!